Welcome, guys, to Real Talk with Delphine. I used to do these over Zoom back at COVID, and I loved touching base with my community. Real Talk with Delphine is about lifting each other up and highlighting small business in our communities, what they do, what their purposes are, but really also nonprofits, and really encourage people to give back. On top of that, you'll have your real estate updates and lending updates and all things Montrose, all things real estate, and all things community. So today I'm really excited because it's our first time back, and I have my really good friend Nick over here. Nick and I met years ago because our girls were friends, and just kind of our lives evolved quite a bit.
Yes, they have.
Since the time we met. So tell me a little bit about you and what you do.
I run a small automotive shop here in town.
And your name is? Let's start there.
We need to
That's
start
okay.
over.
No, we don't. We don't. Keep going. So tell me, let's start with your name.
Nick.
Nick. Nice to meet you, Nick. So Nick and I met, like I said, with our girls when they were little. At the time, you were working for big dealerships here in town.
I worked at dealerships, and I worked at independent shops here in town, too.
Mm-hmm. And kind of just on the side, maybe here and there, helping friends and family, me included at the time.
Yep.
And then how did you end up really kind of diving into this and taking the jump, which is pretty hard to say, hey, let's have my own business. So tell me a little bit about your journey. How did you get into cars first? Let's start there.
I was just always a gearhead as a kid. I wanted to pull things apart, see what's inside of them, see if I could fix them, anything and everything pretty much. And
I love that.
I bought a 55 Willys pickup as my first vehicle and had to fix on it all the time, so kind of just taught myself things as I went along as a kid, and then ended up going to college for automotive technology and got a business degree on top of it, and slowly just started working in dealerships and all different dealerships. I worked for GM, I worked for Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Subaru, I worked for Ford, and then started working in independent shops. Until finally one day, here I am, having my own business.
Very cool, very cool. And tell me why, because I think for me, as you know, being a real estate agent, it was pretty hard to jump in and say, okay, no more entrance or no more, and let's jump into the world of owning our own business. What drove you to do that?
I kind of just worked myself into it. I was doing side gigs at night for friends and family and working out of a garage, and then going my 40-hour-a-week job, and kind of snowball affected and worked myself into my own business.
Yeah. Wasn't there like a birthday and a wish from someone?
And so my kid one year, few years back, wanted to see me more. I was working 24/7, working 40 hours a week for somebody else, another 40 hours a week in the garage trying to keep things up. And so she asked to see me a little bit more, so I quit my job and started my own thing so I could be home more, see her more, and she could come home after school instead of going to after-school programs. And
very cool. So you started in your garage, right?
Yeah, I started in a garage.
Yeah, and now here we are. So tell me more about the services that you offer. So I know you do repair, maintenance, and what else is out there that we can trust you with?
Pretty much anything under the hood or suspension, brakes. So
what's the number one thing that you see? Because, you know, for us, all of a sudden, we're just on the side of the road and we broke down. We don't know what happened. And we just call you and say, you need to come here now. And I will tell you that that's the thing. Nick is going to show up. He's always the friend who's going to be there for you. And I think that's huge in your business, number one. But also, like, what creates that? Like, what do we need to do? What can you help us do to be better?
Biggest thing I try and tell customers is when you notice a small problem, try and fix the little problems before they turn into big problems, because you can fix the little problems for a lot less money than a big issue. Mm-hmm. Keeping clean fluids and doing your oil changes is just a little part of it.
Like the Subaru, I think?
Yeah, there's a Subaru engine sitting over there. People don't check their oil, and then you blow a motor up. Yeah. So just little things like checking your oil and doing your oil changes on time will save you buying an engine later, or servicing a transmission so you don't have to end up putting a new transmission in your vehicle.
Yeah, I think that's key, really. And then a little birdie told me that you do new things now. So I heard about detailing maybe coming up.
Yeah, we were just trying to do a detail business on top of everything else. Clean up people's cars, trying to make kind of a one-stop shop, get everything fixed up and everything, and then clean it all up before it goes back to a customer.
Very cool. That's awesome. How about electrical issues?
Yeah, we're trying to get into more custom electrical on trailers and putting lights and winches and things like that on your vehicle or UTVs, four-wheelers.
So what drove that? Is that a demand thing that you saw that it's out there and people want lights like under the car, or?
Seems like everyone wants to have
flashy
light
car?
bars and things all over their trucks nowadays, so we're trying to just go into the aftermarket and try and upfit people's vehicles or trailers or whatever they need upfitted, do custom electrical.
And so help me understand, for me personally, I know you personally and we have a history and I trust you, but why should people who are watching this trust you with their car? And why is it, I know you want to provide something affordable for people to be able to come to you and that it doesn't break the bank every time. Tell me why I should come to you with my car.
I worked at dealerships and I worked at independents for a long time, and I watched how much people would get charged for maintenance at big shops and everything because their overhead's so big. And so I'm the same guy that worked at the dealerships and the independents. Now you can come to me directly, save you some money. My overhead's a little less being this little guy in town, and do the same quality work that all these other big shops do.
Yeah.
I still warranty everything like anyone else and put
I didn't know that. So you offer
parts.
warranty for everything.
I warranty everything I do, everything I touch, and all the parts and labor and everything.
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't know. And so if, let's say that I have something that breaks down on the car, but at the same time I have a ding in the car, would you be able to help me with that, or would you?
I try and work with a bunch of other small businesses around here, up to Delta and even Grand Junction and whatnot, to fix some of the body problems and stuff people might have. And
so you're kind of like me, you like to partner with others and promote other small businesses?
Yep.
Very cool.
I try and whoever I know that I have a transmission builder up in Junction. That's a small shop, and he does quality work for me there. I never have any problems with any transmissions he builds. I have a body shop in town up in Delta that he does some of the smaller little body projects, painting bumpers for me and whatnot. So
awesome. So we can kind of come to you and you'll direct us even if it's something that you're not doing, but you'll also help us with everything else that you currently do. Is it out of range for me to say that maybe if there's something you're not aware that is on the demand out there, and if they can ask you, you can kind of figure it out and maybe find out for them?
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people that do all sorts of different things. So if currently I can't put tires on, but I work with tire shops here in town, so I can, even though I don't do tires, I can take your vehicle in, be fixing everything else on it, and I can take your tires and go get them mounted and balanced, so when you get your car back, there you got new tires on them.
Awesome.
So I work with other shops in town to try and, for the common good of the community, just to get things done.
That's awesome. I like to get things done. That's for sure. So talking about that, let's dive into a little bit more about getting to know you. So your name is N&K Auto. Where did that come from?
It stands for me and my daughter Kiana, Nick and Kiana.
Very cool. Should we meet Kiana, guys? I think we should. Kiana, come on in. Hi, Kiana.
Hi, Delphine.
Can you lift that up a little bit more for me? Awesome. Thank you so much. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. How excited are you about this name being about you? Did you help your dad find it?
Well, so pretty much me and my dad were always hanging out and trying to work on cars as much as we could. So my dad just came up with that name, and I guess we just had our whole entire company based off of it.
Very cool. Do you think it's because you were young and you were just hanging out in the shop and always there?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah? Do you like to work on cars?
Sometimes.
Does your dad teach you?
Yeah.
That's really cool. I love that.
Tell them about the car that we're building together.
My 67.
Tell them.
So when I was 7, I got a 67 Mustang, and me and my dad are going to rebuild it.
How amazing is that? I didn't even know that. That is so cool. Are you excited about it?
Yeah, I'm also kind of scared because if we mess up one little tiny thing, we're going to have to probably restart that whole entire thing. So,
But isn't that a good learning experience, though?
yeah,
You'll know cars in and out, or at least Mustangs, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. So tell me about your year. How's your year?
It's been pretty good. Last year, I did have 2 surgeries. One was on my heart, and one was main arteries. So,
It was, I think, because of the first heart surgery, right?
yeah,
That is crazy. So you had open heart surgery twice
yeah.
in a year. Mm-hmm. And here you are standing, not even sitting. How cool is that?
Yeah,
Was it scary, though?
yeah, it was really scary.
Do you think it was as scary as your dad trying to open his own business?
Yeah,
Yeah. I bet your dad was pretty scared, too.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I think that you're a very strong young lady. And I think that going through that in life, I think you can go through anything. And that's pretty amazing. What do you think?
Yeah, I think really, I'm trying to get more into helping my dad with cars because recently, since I just started middle school, I haven't really been out in the shop a lot helping him. So I'm trying to get back into helping my dad so I can build my car.
That is so cool. I love that. Well, we can't wait to see you around the shop. Thank you so much for showing up.
Bye, Delphine.
Have a good one. Well, that's kind of scary. 2 open heart surgery.
Yeah.
How did you manage that?
It wasn't easy.
Oh, no kidding. No kidding. Sorry, that took me up a little bit, but Nick and I are good friends, and I think that was when we met in Denver and we went through all this. Top golf always helps.
Top golf right before some surgeries, that was a great way to do it.
That always helps. I think it really does. And I really do think that for me, again, you're always there. You're always present. You always pick up the phone. Like for Jamie, who was stranded on the side of the road. And just do your best to be there for everyone.
I try to be there for everyone I can.
Very cool. So tell me a little bit more about the detailing. You said you want to do a one-stop shop. Can we just come to detail the car alone, or do we have to have serviced the car first?
No, I'm trying to start up this whole detail thing because it's just another entity to be able to provide more affordable services for people in town because that's another thing that costs a lot of money. And so, yeah, I can just come in, drop it off, get a detail done. Usually takes about a day, depending how dirty everything is, but...
So you have also a brand new facility as you went from your garage to this awesome shop.
Yeah, I built this last year.
Very cool. And then how much more have you grown?
It's crazy. I got a bunch of different fleets now. I'm doing stuff for the school district and HVAC companies and electric companies. I got outfitting companies up in Hotchkiss I do stuff for. I got tree services up in Telluride.
So in other words, if you have a small business and you have a fleet of trucks, Nick is your guy. He's always going to pick up the phone. Yeah. Well, and again, I think supporting one another is huge in our community. And so I was really excited that I was able to help you grow when you purchased the property next door and that you can now expand and park more cars.
Yep.
Tell me how that went.
Yeah, it started growing so much that I needed more space. So Delphine here helped us buy the property next door to do some expansion and
hopefully some revenue. Invest in real estate. Call me. Anyways.
Delphine's your lady.
That's right. Well, and the reason Nick is here, we have a sponsor in Montrose Living, and Nick was the first person to support Montrose Living and to put an ad in Montrose Living. So we're very grateful for that. And we just really enjoy, again, supporting everybody in the community and partner. In my opinion, this is all about a partnership and partner with the right people in your community to be able to love what you do and share it with others. So let's talk about something that is not work.
That's all
You
I seem
work
like
all
I
the
do
time.
all the time anymore.
Okay, let's talk about golf. Do you play golf?
Yes, love to golf.
Okay.
Can't wait for all this snow to go away so then the golf courses are back open.
Same here.
It's the one release we got.
We are ready. Well, we're ready for golf, and I think we're ready to move on for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Next week, we'll talk about real estate stats and lending and kind of really talking where the rates are sitting and where the year is going with Amber at Geneva Financials. It should be super fun, so make sure you tune in next week, Thursday at 4 p.m.